A Girl Who Waited, Chapter 5. Rising from the Ashes. The days passed. The days after Arav's death blurred into a haze of grief and endless responsibilities. The hospital visits, funeral preparations, and paperwork weighed heavily, and Niyati's young shoulders. The once joyful celebrations at home were replaced by silence and sorrow. Every corner of the house reminded her of her brother. The laughter, their words would never return now from the time. This teasing and would never come to warmth again and was forever gone. The family's financial stability, once managed by her father and brother, began to crumble. Her father returned home after the heart attack, but he was no longer that steady, confident, and mom and yes, confident men she remembered. The shock and illness had changed him physically, mentally, and emotionally. He moved through the house like a shadow of himself, going through daily motions, routines, but forgetting business details, deals, missing important meetings, and trusting people who took advantage of his weakened state. Slowly he walks off their home, seemed to close in, the comfort of the past giving way to mourning, depth, and failed responsibilities. Niyati was watched all this pain in her home, once filled with laughter and warmth, started to feel apart. Friends and relatives tried to console them, but the sense of loss and love loss that has not really of was not that hasn't reality of financial ruin hung heavy in the air. She felt a stamp aching emptiness in her chest, the center of her heart, where her brother's love had always lived. Now it was just a hollow space and troubled with sorrow. Yet, amid the despair, something stirred within Niyati, a quiet deformation, a quiet determination, fragile but persistent. She refused to let grief and circumstances define her or the family's future. 1 month later, the tragedy heart with a heart still heavy but a mind deeper, sharper, and even she made a bold decision. She would rebuild not just their home but the sense of stability, hope, and dignity that had been lost. Niyati started a small finding ways to earn and manage money, and learning the ropes of business with patience and and grit. She spent her late nights poring over accounts, negotiating carefully, and taking tiny steps that slowly began to relieve, begin to matter. Each small success felt like a victory over the darkness that had overshadowed and threatened to consume her. Evenings were the hardest. The silence of the empty rooms, the absence of Arab's laughter, and the hollow gaze at her father reminded her constantly of what has been lost. But she drew herself strength from memory, the lessons her brother had taught her, the love her parents had given, and the resilience she had learned through past and pain. Slowly, brick by brick, she began to see a new future coming. She was no longer the pampered girl of her childhood. She was a young woman capable of carrying the family's dreams and standing tall, mind adversely and amid adversities. And as she worked hard late into the late into the nights, balancing account, negotiating deals, and planning the next steps, a small smile appeared on her face for the first time. One since the their fateful day, she felt a sense of purpose. And amid these days of hard work, another moment hugged at her childhood friend Parth, who had come to Mumbai to visit her after a long time, 8 long years after, was preparing to leave for London for the further studies. They had shared laughter, joy, memories, and quite conversible, and gave her comfort in dark times. I have to go, Parth said gradually, holding her hands. But anytime you need me, just call me. I'll come always. Niyati's heart ached. She wanted him to stay, but she knew that he had a life ahead. Life had its path. With a heavy heart, she whispered, all the way, best buddy. I wish you become a very successful man. Goodbye. Pat smiled, though the though his eyes glistered, and you, Niyati, keep smiling, keep shining. You are strong enough that you can think. I know you will build something amazing here for yourself and your family. As he walked towards the boarding gate, Niyati watched him disappear from view, feeling both the sting of loss and the quiet comfort of his promise. Life has been cruel, but it had also given her resilience, courage, and a purpose. She would rise, she would face everything positively, she would lead, and she would continue building the world brick by brick with love, strength, and unwavering hope. And somewhere deep, she felt much and somewhere deep inside, she felt a quiet promise that promise that point that paths meant to cross again would find a way ever even across oceans and time. If you like this story, please do like, share, and subscribe my channel. And if you want your story to be heard in my voice, you can share your story in the comment box. Thank you.